Hello? Did anyone forget their portal here? It's on my front lawn.
Whoa, rough landing. Hi, which way's the beach?
Where am I? Ooh, wonderful! Oh no. Ugh. Worth it! Ugh. Spyro The Reignited Trilogy, released in 2018 by Toys for Bob, the architects of Skylander Prison, where they've kept Spyro locked up for the past 7 years. Did the edge get saltier? This is the game I've been looking forward to all year. More than Spider-Man, more than Smash, more than Pokemon, more than Dragon Quest. Okay, just as excited as Dragon Quest. I was super stoked for Dragon Quest as well. Bit like Skyrim on Switch. I'm noticing a pattern in the games I like. It's a very good pattern. Now to get one thing clear, yes, I have done a video on this in my straight to the point review. So it may look like I'm repeating myself, but rest assured, I'm a bit smarter than that. In this video, I won't talk about presentation or gameplay because I covered it nicely in that video that you can watch right there. It's 5 minutes long, so if you want to catch up, pause this and go watch it. Right now, I want to focus on how good the remake is compared to the original. See what the differences are, and if they're made for the better, or if they make me want to burn my house down. We're gonna be focusing on all 3 games, so let's not waste any time and get to it. Son of a... Spyro the Dragon was first released in 1998. Hey, look at that! That was 20 years ago. It's almost like this was a marketing scheme to capitalize on a birthday. Okay, that was a one-time thing. Although it's the first, Spyro the Dragon was the last game of the trilogy I played. I started with 2, then played 3, then got my hands on 1. I was a dumb kid back then. It was pretty challenging going backwards, so if there's a game on this remake that needs the most attention, it's the first. The story goes like this. The dragons are being interviewed by, we don't really know. Is it another dragon? A balloonist? Bentley? I don't know, he does it later. And why are they being interviewed? Who's watching TV? Why does the Magical World need TV? What else does it have? iPhones? Tablets? Dragon Tube? Wait, just realized. I don't care. Actually, in this remake, we do see who is watching TV. Nasty Nork, a monster the dragons banished long ago and is looking really cozy for someone who's been cast away.
Alright, John. Search time. Now you're a free man.
Oh, Jesus! Ah! Okay.
I will confess to anything. Nasty learns about the dragons mocking him and decides now's the time to counterattack by turning all the dragons into crystal. less planning and more his feelings are hurt. Now in the original, it was kind of unclear how Nasty knew what the dragons were saying. It was kind of like he could hear them from the other side of the world. So it's nice to have an actual explanation this time around. And that's it for the story. No more cutscenes until the end of the game. Now it's just platforming fun between you and the Nasty Nork. Collect gems, free dragons, defeat blue thieves, all the good stuff Spyro is known for. Now the first big change are the controls. Spyro 1 had the worst controls in the trilogy. It wasn't bad, but compared to the other two, it was bad. It was slippery and kind of went all over the place. Spyro had no hover and instead had a plummet button, and the run and jump tactic was pathetically low. And that is the first big fix. Spyro 1 now has Spyro 2's movement. His turns are more controlled, his jump is more responsive, and you can run and jump to your heart's content. Though there's no hover, it's still a plummet button. A shame, but you could argue that it would break the game. The level design was not planned around the hover move. One thing you do have, however, is the gem compass. If you press L3 in any of the games, sparks will point towards any remaining gems in the level. A hidden feature in Spyro 2 and a power-up in Spyro 3. It was very nice to have and very useful when I needed to beat this game quickly to satisfy the YouTube algorithm. YouTube, please come back to me. I'll be better, I swear. I'll be better to you. I'll make videos faster. Don't throw me off the algorithm. Another big change is, of course, the looks of the dragons. The first game was on weaker hardware and was Insomniac's first game, so they kept it safe with a few models and palette swaps. It was cute at the time, but for a PS4 remake, we were expecting a big upgrade here. And boy, did they deliver. Look at them, oh my god, they're so cool! Look at this guy, oh man, this guy's so badass! That dragon has magic! Okay, all dragons have magic, but this guy has card magic! And he's a spellbook, oh, he's a dream! I love these looks! Sorry, it's I rarely get to be positive on this show. I touched upon it before, but these redesigns are the best thing about Spyro 1's remake. Each and every dragon is unique and stands out so much more. Their clothing, their accessories, even their weapons will stick to you like glue. And the fact their designs fit in the world they were trapped in just adds 1,000 times more charm. No, seriously, I calculated. Look. Dragons times appropriate designs equals... You see? The artisans have builders, artists, actors, and writers. The peacekeepers are warriors, scarred, tough, and full of grit. The magic crafters are all wizards, masters of the arcane. The beastmakers are swamp folk who... I think they're racist towards someone, but I can't tell who. Maybe Florida. And the Dreamweavers, he has a star system on his wings. Okay, that is the coolest dragon ever. So, did he raid Zenyatta's wardrobe?
I must join my teammates. They require my aid to stop the intrude. Son of a female dog, someone stole my balls again.
The one redesign choice I don't get. Why did they take the guns out of Twilight Harbor? What was the reasoning here? Are they afraid showing guns will incentivize kids to get one for themselves? Okay, so first of all, they'll take care of that. And second, it's not Spyro that has the guns, it's the bad guys. If anything, it's showing the kids that guns are bad. And don't say guns don't fit in Spyro's world because they have TNT all over the place. A gun is basically putting a metal pellet in front of that. This may seem nitpicky, but it's not. What used to be the final frontier before Nasty Nork, a darker world to show you that things are getting serious, now looks like Splatoon. Terrifying. There are also bosses in which... Bosses, as in they suck. All the bosses are built the same way. A small level before them, hit their weak spot 3 times, and win. There's really not much, or any challenge to speak of here. The levels before the bosses are way harder than them, and that hasn't changed in the remake. That's a shame, considering the other 2 games have great bosses. All in all, the Reignited version is the definitive way to play Spyro 1. Nothing but improvements have been made to the controls, characters, and visuals. It is just a treat. Look at Beastmakers, they made a swamp pretty. How do you do that? 1 point to Reignited. Next up is Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. No, there's no mistake, it's just, Spyro 2 is my favorite, and I want to save that for last. And not end this video on a bad note. Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. Oh, how I love this game, but at the same time despise this game. I love the wide variety of worlds. I hate how they all feel disconnected. I love the characters. I hate the lack of in-game cutscenes for each level. I love the new friends. I hate playing as said friends. It's a very split opinion with myself. So let's see if Spyro Reignited can burst Year the Dragon out of the flames. Wait, that's a phoenix. This plot centers around the dragon eggs. You know, that thing that was clearly an afterthought in Spyro 1 due to how few there were. So much so I didn't even mention them until now. Well, now they're the main focus of the game, as a group of Rhinox steal the eggs and transport them back to their world. All 150 of them. Thank God we didn't have to chase them all in Spyro 1. The dragons, being too fat, decide to send Spyro to get them. On the way, he will encounter new friends to help him on his quest, as well as fight a new villain, the Sorcerer. Okay. Now I know what King K. Rool would look like with a super crown. I didn't want to know that, but thank you, I guess. Okay, let's get this out of the way. The Sorceress is garbage in this game. I mean, she was already a garbage villain, but now she's even more a garbage villain. Already being a super weak antagonist due to her never interacting with Spyro. Bit of a misstep there. But now she's also lost her menace factor. It starts with the design and the horrible, horrible lipstick. But her voice is just too young and normal.
Listen carefully, you stupid girl. I'm only going to ask you one more time.
That may seem weird, but think about it. The Sorceress is bringing the baby dragons into this world so she can live forever with their magic. So it made sense for the Sorceress to sound old and sick during all of it. She's on a timer here, so she's trying to find ways of postponing that indefinitely.
Without the dragons, the magic in this world will wither away. Without magic, I'll die. And so will your ever so slim chance of becoming a sorceress.
But here she still sounds young and spry, not to mention way too normal. I always saw the Sorceress as the evil queen of Spyro. Old, creepy, powerful, and magical. Here, she's normal, mundane, young, not to mention way too peppy about all this. But sadly, that is only the first issue that this game has. While it does fix a few things here and there, like the boxing minigame, and by fixed I mean broken in the other direction, where you just need to spam. Oh, I'm not complaining. In fact, I am super grateful. That was hell. Spyro 3 and Reignited is easily the least polished of the three games. While the presentation is still spectacular with redesigns I fall in love all over again, there are just so many missteps. It's in this game I realized how much they've tampered with the supercharge. Instead of having a set speed instantly, it builds up with no limit, which makes chasing the Super Egg Thieves one of the most fun minigames in the series into a joke. While Sergeant Bird and Agent 9's clunky controls have been fixed, Sheila and Bentley's have been busted wide open. Sheila's super jump must have been shortened because look at this! Like, I am jumping as high as I can, and I can't reach this. What is going on here? Get up there, get up the frickin' get up the frickin'. Did you put on 50 pounds while waiting for this game? And bloody hell, her hit range. What used to be a reliable kick in the face of your foes has become a love tap that barely has any reach. And Bentley, you blundering barbarian blockheads. What is with this camera angle? Why is every character in an over-the-top view except Bentley, who is far over-the-top shoulder view? I mean, how would you like it if the viewpoint of the camera changed for no reason? Be bloody weird, wouldn't it? In fact, camera angles are a common issue with the minigames in Spyro, all of them. Some minigames had varying camera angles depending on what you needed to see, allowing you to be able to react better to your surroundings. Here, nah, it's all the same camera angle. So good luck seeing stuff like this. And this next point is a bit of a nitpick, but not really. One of my biggest gripes with Spyro 3 is that there are no in-game cutscenes between levels. Spyro 2 had these small 10-second cutscenes that showed what was going on in the world before you step in, and in what state the world was in after you left. It was charming, it showed the impact you made on the world, it made it feel alive.
Spyro 3 did not have these, and as a result, worlds felt like levels rather than actual breathing realms, with obstacles to face rather than you saving the denizens of a nation. Toys for Bob could have implemented these brand new cutscenes to vastly improve the game compared to the original. Because after all, what's the point of making a remake if you're not going to make it better?
They could have shown the seals crashing into the wall with a submarine and getting locked up, or the wizards turning everything into crystal, or the workers forced to work on the statue for the sorceress.
They didn't have to do it, but at the same time, it was a surefire way of improving the game. Maybe not a mistake, but definitely a missed opportunity.
Also, it's in this game you realize how sloppy the flying and swimming is. Whenever you charge forward or gain some form of speed, Spyro controls like he was bathed in butter and slides all over the place. It's impossible to control and makes those super fun races into chores when you have to play them over and over and over again because you didn't catch enough speed or the hitboxes don't match the models. And also, why is this game so glitchy? Don't get me wrong, all 3 games have glitches here and there, but Spyro 3? Oh my god, there are more bugs here than in an ant farm! Glitching textures, bugged out enemies, hitboxes that aren't even close to in-game sprites, game-breaking glitches that force you to restart the level. Look at this, and try to defend it. This is all in a single minigame. I feel like I should be paid for beta testing this, but instead I'm the one who forked over the cash.
Is this what it's like to fund Star Citizen? I can't say that this game is better than the original. I just can't. Between poor design choices, poor gameplay choices, and the game not even being done, this was a massive letdown. To the game I was looking the least forward to. Point goes to... where'd they go? Oh. Point goes to the original. And now, here it is. The tiebreaker, the pièce de résistance. Spyro 2, Gateway to Glimmer. I don't care what it says, it's Gateway to Glimmer. Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer is the most important game to me in my entire gaming library. It's the first game I ever played, the first game I ever beat, the first game I ever completed, and until recently was my favorite game ever. Until this. Life will change, but Spyro 2 is still top 3 material. I know some people prefer 3, but you know what they say about people with different opinions? They're wrong. Listen to me. Let's get this started.
So this game has Spyro decide to take a vacation to Dragon Shores. However, as he goes through the portal, 3 other characters, Elora, Hunter, and the Professor, change the portal's destination to their own, Glimmer. They do this so Spyro can face off against Ripto, an invader who's been causing all sorts of trouble in Avalar with his lackeys Crush and Gulp.
And now that I think about it, these 3 are right up to Spyro. I mean, they did snatch him from a potential holiday to go face off against deadly villains. Portal magic is not secure.
Now let's start with the main draw of this game, Ripto. The most popular and recognizable villain in Spyro history, he is one of my favorite baddies ever.
He's always angry, always yelling, and always trying to prove how much better he is. Oh. And while I prefer the original cutscenes and intonations, I can admit that's due to nostalgia because these are still excellent.
Greg Berger returned to reprise his role, and my god, he is having just as much fun as before. He's still got that angry, petulant child attitude in a man's body, and always ends up with the short end of the stick. He's still funny, still a joy to foil, and still my favorite baddie in the Reignited Trilogy.
And besides that, not much has changed. Not much needed to be changed.
The worlds look amazing and tie into one another with references and pieces of dialogue spread across them. The Iceman and Crystal Glacier mentioning Colossus, Breeze Harbor and Zephyr being war, characters reoccurring between different environments. The levels themselves are still fun and colorful, and the mini-games are untouched and fun. Compared to Spyro 3's plethora of, questionable mini-games, Spyro 2 has some pretty pleasant ones that don't need much changing. I said some. Most of them are still short, sweet, and a nice break from the rest of the get off my case!
Okay, I'll address the elephant. The Alchemist still sucks. Sucks so much!
Everyone's harped on about this. The fact he blindly walks into Earth Shapers, the fact he goes in circles just to get hit, the fact he does a mega detour just to piss you off, the fact if you don't have the headbutt, you'll need to do it all over again.
Everyone hates this minigame. I hate this minigame. And in the remake, it's worse. Why? Because you barely stun the Earth Shapers.
In the original, when Spyro charges into Earth Shapers, they go far back and are stunned for seconds. In this version, I feel like a child messing with a quarterback, which means you have to keep on hitting until you are absolutely sure the Alchemist has passed it. Then quickly hurry up to the next one. Milliseconds to spare. And the camera angle is different so you can't see where the Alchemist is going.
And while I'm ranting, what did you do to Scorch?
What used to be one of my favorite levels of Spyro 2 is now just an accumulation of bad decisions. The guards no longer have guns. Why? They're supposed to be guarding a palace. You don't guard a palace like Dennis the Menace guards a treehouse. The others have swords, they don't have sticks. So why change this?
I hate guns, even I think this is stupid. What's next? Elmer Fudd's rifle to be replaced with a laser tag?
And the minigames suck. The monkey minigame is so slow now and is just so boring. Hunter moves like his feet are still made of stone, and you can't even kill time by continuously bashing the monkeys. Why?
And the Flag Keeper, why is he so much worse?
Before what used to be a fair game of skill by dodging those random projectiles at high speeds, now became a game of slowly inching your way forward and cheating so you don't stand in front of Bombo. His bombs are so fast and always aimed at your head. Look at all of these times. How could I have reacted differently?
I know I'm blonde with blue eyes, but I'm not a Super Saiyan. There are some things I can't do. But besides all that, I still absolutely love this game.
Playing Spyro 2 truly clinched the deal for me that the Reignited Trilogy is my definitive way of playing Spyro, or will be once the game is patched and fixed.
And all for one reason. I felt like I was rediscovering a trilogy that I have played over and over again my entire life. And that is so special to me.
I couldn't count the number of times I've completed each game in the trilogy on both my hands and feet. Seeing all the changes and comparing them to the original was what made this game for me. Seeing the inhabitants' redesigns and admiring how unique each one looks and sounds while still giving winks to the old ones. Admiring the revisions in the cutscenes to make them look even more alive. Noticing the level of detail in this game and admiring how beautiful each area is.
Playing this game sort of felt like an Easter egg hunt. Sure, you're disappointed with the packet of licorice you just found, but you just collected so many chocolate eggs, it would be insulting to spit on the experience. But the thing I love more than anything, the thing I adore the most, is that somewhere in this world, little kids of 3, 4, 5 years old, they are discovering gaming through Spyro, just like I had all those years ago. What they are seeing right now, that's what I saw as a kid. And knowing that that is even possible, that's magical to me. And something I thought I'd never see again. So as you can imagine, point goes to the new and solidifies it as the ultimate Spyro experience. If you haven't picked this game up yet, I urge you to. In this revival of fun, colorful platformers, this is one you don't want to miss out on. I'm not used to finishing videos on a positive note, so I have no idea how to close this. Wait right there, I'll think of something. What can I do? What can I do? I don't want to finish this one on something bad. I love this game. What can I do? Spoke about the Flag Keeper, the Alchemist, the boxing is fake. Ah!